good? What's good? What's good with everybody? How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? It's me, your boy Trey. You know how it is. First formation back in the building. It's a new day. It's a new week. Let's go.
Hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, work. There you go.
Forward!
Hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, work. There you go.
Forward!
Hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, work. There you go.
Forward!
Hard work, hard work, hard work.
Fall in. Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. You're back. We're back. We're back. What's going on, everybody? What's high speeds and high speedettes? It's your boy Trey. Trey the commish, or whatever moniker you want to call. Just call me Trey. However it goes. First formation, morning sports talk. So come on and fall into your favorite vets as we talk about sports and just things in general over the course that's happened in the last couple of days, hours, weeks. Take it back in the time machine sometimes. It doesn't make a difference. We get it in one way or another. So please feel free to tap in. Uh, Fall in. Y'all hear the moniker real quick. Uh, Sorry you missed us yesterday. Missed me yesterday. I was had to go take care of some things, and actually all this week I'll be taking care of things. But of course we'll keep you abreast. Easiest way to make sure you don't miss us, go ahead and go to the YouTube page, tap the subscribe, go to the Facebook page, tap the like subscriptions. I mean, not subscriptions, notifications. Set that up so you don't miss. So when we go live, you can come live with us, of course, in any case. So a couple of things real quick. There's plenty of action been going on. You know, it's been a couple of days of NBA action, NHL action, Major League Basketball. You even had some of the preseason started for the WNBA. As I know, I said for this year, I'm going to be more abreast on watching and supporting WNBA than I have in years previously. Might even catch a game or two if I'm in or around those areas. And then, of course, we have NFL starting to rev up again. Didn't get a chance to talk about some of the movements in college basketball, women's particularly, as well as men's. I guess we could take in consideration. So a lot going on. So as we go forth, I will try to remember all these things and keep all y'all abreast as well. So of course, when you look at it, not wanting to deviate or go away from just speaking of sports in reference to Sunday. You had three NHL games. As you know, the NHL is enthralled in their own Stanley Cup playoffs, trying to crown the champion for the 2022-23 season. New Jersey Devils down 2-1 in the series as they lose Sunday to the Hurricanes, the Carolina Hurricanes, by the score of 8-4. Toronto Maple Leafs and the Florida Panthers locked in as the Panthers are up 3-0, looking to sweep, I believe, tonight over the Maple Leafs as they had a 3-2 game on Sunday. And the Dallas Stars face off against the Seattle Kraken, with the Kraken cracking them up 2-1 in the series as they take a 7-2 game on Sunday. Yesterday, of course, the Las Vegas Golden Knights faced off against the Edmonton Oilers, winning by the score of 5-1. Now that puts the Edmonton Oilers down a game in the series as the Las Vegas Golden Knights are up currently 2-1 in that series. Tonight, of course, like I said, an opportunity for the Carolina Hurricanes to potentially take a 2-1 lead as they face off against the New Jersey Devils, as well as the Dallas Stars will have their game for versus the Seattle Kraken, where makes it an opportunity to even one tie the series or two go ahead and take a 3-1 lead in that retrospect. In the military, in the MLB, of course, Major League Baseball. a series about 10 games take place. Of course, leading off, the Los Angeles Dodgers fall to the Milwaukee Brewers by the score of 9-3. The Detroit Tigers get their dub over the Cleveland Guardians by the score of 6-2. Tampa Bay Rays pitch a shutout, winning 3-0 over the Baltimore Orioles. The Pittsburgh Pirates give their own goose egg to the Colorado Rockies by the score of 2-0. New York Yankees face off against the Oakland Athletics, winning 7-2. Kansas City Royals get a 12-5 win over the Chicago White Sox. St. Louis Cardinals win 3-1 over the Chicago Cubs. Houston Astros fall to the Los Angeles Angels by the score of 6-4. Arizona Diamondbacks and the Miami Marlins face off. Diamondbacks get that win 5-2. Texas Rangers take just slightly scoop past the Seattle Mariners as they win 2-1. And last but not least, the Washington Nationals gets their dub over the San Francisco Giants by the score of 5-1. Of course, tonight's games, Dodgers and Brewers face off at 6:40. Detroit Tigers have another game against the Guardians at 5:10. Tampa Bay, I'm a correction. Tampa Bay and Baltimore face off tonight. St. Louis and Chicago, Padres and the Twins, White Sox and Royals, Red Sox and Braves, Athletics and Yankees, Blue Jays and Phillies, the Mets and the Cincinnati Reds, Pirates and Rockies, Marlins and Diamondbacks, Rangers, Mariners, Giants, Nationals, and of course, last but not least, the Angels and Astros. Look forward to doing battle tonight in their game for the night. So last night, right? A lot going on. We're not going to even talk about last night yet. Not going to even get into last night yet. What we will have to discuss is what happened over the course of the weekend. Boston Celtics facing off against the Philadelphia, facing off against the Philadelphia 76ers. It's turning out to be a game, I guess you could say, a series, or whatever you want to put on it is what it's coming out to be. Of course, that game on Sunday had what could have been what's good? What's going on, Courtney? Glad to have your information with us this morning, brother. How you doing, man? Blessed to see you as well. That game tend to be a little bit different. I just say, not different. Is this what we expected? Are you guys not entertained by the NBA playoffs just this past weekend? What's good, Wooten? How you doing, brother? Glad to have information with this as well. In which an overtime game decided by 1 point, 115, 116 in favor of the Philadelphia 76ers. Like I said, in overtime for the Boston Celtics for that Sunday game. Jaylen Brown, you always know I talk about Jaylen. I think he's very underrated in that system. And he probably deserves to have his own team. We should see, of course. 23 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists on the night. Jason Tatum, 24 points, 18 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal. Al Horford contribute 10 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 5 blocks for the Eldersman. Malcolm Brogdon, 19 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 21 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists from Marcus Smart. Derek White contributed with 12 points, 2 rebounds, 4 points from Robert Williams. Going on to the 76ers, led by Joel Embiid and company. Joel Embiid, 34 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 14 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 1 block from Tyrese Maxey. Tobias Harris with 9 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal on the night. 6 points, PJ Tucker, 3 rebounds, 9 points from Jordan Niang. But of course, the man, the myth, the legend, able to close out the show and able to even knock it down the go-ahead or the buzzer-beating bucket to send the game into the stratosphere of a win for the Philadelphia 76ers. James Harden with 42 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, 4 steals, 1 block on the night, as including that game winner. What is it that you can say, bruh? Yes, Jaylen Brown over Tatum, in my opinion. I stand on that, and that's not to say anything bad about Jaylen Brown. Tatum is just I'm rocking with Jaylen Brown more so. It could be my affinity for the fact that he went to Cal. Um, Courtney Miami is the only team playing at the championship level, dominating 11-1 in their last 12. So true that. Okay, all right, yeah. All right, I'm rocking with you. I do. So I won't say it's Brown's team because to say it's Brown's team would make Tatum inferior to Brown. And of course, we can't say that in Boston for the most part. But if there was, yeah, it just can't. That I won't say. I won't say Boston is Brown's team only because Jason Tatum was there. It's clearly it's his team. But however, if Brown has someone to his skill set, something similar to his skill set, and he was on the team, I think we can give Brown a team, and his Batman and his Robin would be someone as a self or Tatum esque. Then we would see a situation where he can have a team and he could probably be as potent because right now Boston is what Boston is due to the fact of Jaylen Brown is on that squad. Now we take Jaylen Brown off the squad. Is there anyone they can bring in that can equal that, or do you have what you need already? 6 man Malcolm Brogdon maybe can pick up the slack, but then one of the other individuals, Pritchard, White, or anyone else maybe can come and pick up to where the Malcolm Brogdon type player would be needed. So of course it's a domino effect in a sense, but I don't know when you look at it is Jaylen Brown deserving of his own team? Has he come to that point? But then when you start to do that, in my opinion, now we get to put in the position of no different to when you had Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden on the squad. Eventually, they split up to where they could have had a nucleus to rival that of the Golden State Warriors currently, and we might have seen things differently. It might have been a whole different change of events across the spectrum of basketball had them three continued to grow amongst each other and were able to stick together. It didn't happen, so this is where we at currently. Uh, okay, the media is pushing Tatum's team, but Brown is more consistent and shows up in big moments. That could be. I wouldn't argue that there, Wooten, but it's yeah. I wouldn't argue that. I would not argue that. I don't even have a comeback for that. I just think truly he's so does inconsistency make you any less of a player, or is that just again that could be a media narrative as well, saying that inconsistency makes you less? Because yes, Jason Tatum does have inconsistency seemingly at times, but he's consistent with his scoring. It just may not be at the particular times in which is needed. However, we see more of that from Brown. But again, when we look at it, there's a delegation in a sense to where Brown is able to pick up the slack sometimes, where Jason is lacking. Hence, I get it; it's a team effort. So I don't know. I just know that Brown is he can play with the best of them, and I think he's pushing Jason Tatum for that to sit up the top in Boston. But of course, it's Jason's team. We'll continue to say. And so maybe Brown may need to exit, or maybe not. We'll see. It all come out to it once it's all seen. The off season comes. Currently, they got 3 more games before they end up seeing that type of off season, to where even they can continue on, and that we'll just continue to discuss, or it'll start and we'll start to see how it comes out. Tatum is remembering me Harden like great regular season, disappointing playoffs. And maybe he turns the quarter. He still got plenty of games right now, at least 2 more minimum in which he can play to kind of turn that around. If they can get past Philadelphia, then he has another 4 games to run it back per depending on who he'll face. And we'll get to those games in a second. Going into the second game during this weekend on this Sunday, of course, the Denver Nuggets, the Denver Nuggets facing off with with Phoenix Suns over the course of the weekend, in which the Phoenix was able to walk away with the dub, winning 129 to 124. However, it did not go uh, easily, in which is key having a bench, or even not even having a bench, having backup players or role players or players that are going to come get it when your stars are either one clicking or not clicking, which has been on display, of course, in my opinion. Of course, we have it. And that's a good point, Top. So we'll get back to you on that just a second. Let me run through this right quick. We're going to come back because I think we're going to bring that back. For the Denver Nuggets on Sunday, they were led by Nikola Jokic, 53 points, 11 rebounds, 1 block, but he did have 6 turnovers. But 53 points, huge. Jamal Murray, 28 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, 5 points apiece from Bruce Brown and Jeff Green, 11 points apiece from Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon. Michael Porter with 10 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. Aaron Gordon, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal apiece, 1 block for Porter, 10 points for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Christian Bond with 1 point. For the Suns, 36 points apiece from Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, 6 rebounds, 12 assists for Booker, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, 1 block for Durant. 4 points from Josh Okogie, 8 points from DeAndre Ayton, 8 points from Terrence Ross, 19 points from Landry Shamet, showing up when they needed it the most. 8 points from Jock Landale, 5 points from TJ Warren, including the last second free throws that put them out in the head to where they were not able to be touched. Again, with that win, those efforts, it gave Phoenix opportunity to tie it up, defending home court, giving them a 5-point win and a trip back to Denver without having to worry about them being down. He said we want LA. So when you take a look at that, and what you're going to get into, as we see here, Courtney was just talking about how Jaylen Brown basically takes advantage or gets benefits from the attention that Tatum receives. Tatum usually gets doubled, and he's usually guarded by the best defender. And true that, and which we start to go into, I think we're going to start to kind of go into right here now, is the tandems, the duos, in which are that's led here. Every team currently that remains has a duo except one, in my opinion. Unless you want to say that Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo are a duo. Every team has a solidified duo. You got AD and LeBron in LA. You got Steph and Clay in Golden State. You have Booker and Durant in Phoenix. Murray and Jokic in Denver. Embiid and Harden in Philly. Boston has Brown and Tatum. New York has Randall and Bronson. Then after that, like I said, Miami, we might be able to say Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo for the most part. Currently, he said this is Spo and Jimmy. And it might be that Spo and Jimmy's carrying Jimmy is the brawn and Spo is the brain, and they make it work. Something's going on in there, as Courtney pointed out early. They're 11 and 1 over the last 12 games in which they played. Every team has a duo, right? So what we're seeing, in my opinion, is you have those duos that are doing work, evidently doing a lot of work, doing plenty, but the other teams' duos and their people are keeping up. So it's like the duos are facing off and getting it in, putting up the numbers they need to put out. It's taking, what needs to happen is those other players need to be productive. We saw Sunday night, Landry Shamet dropped 19 points that kept pace, helped them keep pace with Denver. Outscored the bench in Golden State. Outscored the bench in Denver. Again, helping keep pace. And that made a complete difference in their game. And obviously, when you look at the points, when you break it down, the same for Philly for the most part. Philly and Boston. Boston kept pace. They had their people doing what they needed to do. 19 points from Brogdon, 10, 12 points from White, 21 points from Smart. What is the other team doing? What is the opposition doing on the other side? And those make huge things. So that brings us to last night's games: the Knicks and Golden State. The Knicks and Miami, Los Angeles, and Golden State. First off, started with the Knicks. They had the early game, led by Jalen Brunson, 32 points, 4 rebounds, 11 assists, 1 steal, 24 points from RJ Barrett, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. RJ Barrett doesn't get talked about enough at this point. He's doing cleaning up and doing what he needs to do when he needs to do it. Again, I think we could talk about inconsistencies there as well. Julius Randle, 20 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists on last night. Fouling out with 3 minutes, 8 seconds left of the game. Probably didn't help the squad either. Quentin Grimes, 9 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 6 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 blocks from Mitchell Robinson, 4 points apiece from Josh Hart and Obi Toppin, and 2 points from Isaiah Harrison. For the Miami Heat, led by Jimmy Butler's 27 points, 6 rebounds, 10 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 23 points from 13 rebounds, 2 assists from Bam Adebayo, 16 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block from Max Strus, 15 points from Kyle Lowry, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Caleb Martin, 10 points, 2 rebounds. Cody Zeller, 2 points, 3 points from Gabe Vincent. Duncan Robinson contributed with 3 points, and Haywood Highsmith contribute with 2 points as well. All, when you come out to it, Jimmy Butler put the team on his back, constantly being aggressive, imposing their will. In-state, Miami gets the dub 109-101 over the New York Knicks, which gives Miami now a 3-1 lead going back to Madison Square Garden. So now they'll be back in New York on Wednesday, I believe, for game 4. What can possibly be done? Is it over for New York? Has Miami imposed their will? Has Eric Spoelstra, probably one of the most dominant NBA coaches, rivaling probably Steve Kerr in this decade so far? Well, not this decade. What's good, Kanief? What's going on, TT? Glad to have information this morning. Glorious morning to you as well. What is the outcome? What are we seeing here? Does Denver dispatch and take care of business? Not Denver. I'm sorry. I'm going in a whole different direction. Does Miami take care of business now, currently up 3-1? Is it over? Can New York get one to extend the lead? To extend the series? Send it back Miami where they probably don't want to go. Again, we have a situation to where the players are doing exactly what they need to do. Those duels we talked about. Jalen Brunson, 32 points. Julius Randle, 20 points. But then you have the cleanup guys. RJ Barrett, 24 points. Then it kind of stops there. Quentin Grimes did give 9 points, but it wasn't enough. When you look at the opposite side of the spectrum, if we said Jimmy Butler and quote-unquote Bam Adebayo is that duo, they put up 50 points apiece. Put up 50 points combined. Then you had the guys putting the work. Kyle Lowry, 15 points, 10 points. Caleb Martin, 16 points. Max Strus. Kevin Love doing what he can at this time, 8 points. 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Long, those outlets, what we know him to be, the quick outlets passes, precise with his passing down the court, 90 feet. You put that into perspective, and that's what gets the wins, obviously, for those teams. So now this is where you, when you look at it, it puts it in a whole different outlook. Maybe New York, does New York have what it takes to win 3 consecutive games if they couldn't even go tit for tat in the 4 that have been played? What do you guys think is the outcome for that series? 3-1 currently Miami. Does Miami close it out Wednesday? Does New York extend it Wednesday? Can New York extend it to even get back to the Madison Square Garden for what would be a game 7? Do y'all think New York has it in them? Of course, hit me in the comments. Going on to the next game last night, a lot of shaking going on in Los Angeles. Again, a game that comes up to an unlikely hero in state. Golden State last night faced off against the Lakers on their home court. Currently down 2-1. At the time down 2-1. Stephen Curry, 31 points, 10 rebounds, 14 assists, 3 steals, in what is another triple double in the cap for teams for this playoff series, from the playoff series across the board. I think it's been 4 triple doubles so far, and he put on the 4th one. 17 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist from Andrew Wiggins, 15 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists from Gary Payton II. Draymond Green, 8 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists on the night. Klay Thompson, 9 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 10 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist for Dante DiVincenzo, 7 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 2 steals, no assists from Moses Moody, 4 points, 3 rebounds to Kevin Looney. Jordan Poole, 3 rebounds, 2 assists on the night. And that's where it ends, of course. When you look at the Los Angeles Lakers, led by LeBron James, 27 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 block, 23 points, 15 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals from Anthony Davis, 21 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal from Austin Reeves, 10 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal from Dennis Schroeder. Ryan Hachimura, 2 points. 2 points from Jared Vanderbilt, 3 rebounds and 1 assist to go along with that. But the darling of the night, Lonnie Walker Jr. Lonnie Walker, number 4, as Charles Barkley called him last night. 15 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, all in the 4th quarter. Again, another 7 grace, another player turning in a performance similar to Landry Shamet Sunday night for the Phoenix Suns. Lonnie Walker, the 4th, going down in the books, scoring 15 points. He just had put up a playoff high just in Game 3 with a 12-point effort. Comes back in Game 4, eclipsing that playoff high, career high, with a 15-point night, and saving what could have been a tie series for the Lakers. Again, when you go back to it and taking a look, we see where those games come into play at. It really becomes those players, the separate players. We talk about duels, LeBron and AD, basically 50 points up combined. You got Austin Reeves, 21 points, 15 points from Lonnie Walker. Now, when you take a look at it and think about it, right, I believe teams are starting to check for Austin Reeves. I'm very sure he's on reports now. If he's not, then that's going to be the reason why it's going to basically be a situation where LA wins the championship. Because if you're not doing anything to thwart him, of course, then he just adds to it. Keep in mind, D'Angelo Russell is still on the Lakers roster. Although he only had 4 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists last night, he's still someone you have to look at. Ryan Hachimura, still on the Lakers roster. He only had 2.3 rebounds last night. Still somebody you got to take because he was that dude in the Memphis series. He was the person that contributed. Now we're looking at Lonnie Walker. Dennis Schroeder. Although I wasn't pleased with how he worked last night, a bunch, in my opinion, 4 turnovers back to back to back to back. That basically kept Golden State in striking range. Like you got Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and quote unquote sometimes Anthony Jordan Poole, Wiggins as well. That can knock down the 3-ball. Dante DiVincenzo can knock down the 3-ball. So for a team to have seconds on the clock and only be a 1-point possession, that's dangerous in my opinion. So when you get stops, you need to capitalize on those stops. It seems like every time they had an opportunity to get stops, Dennis Schroeder had the ball in his hand and he had a turnover. Actually, how many turnovers did Dennis Schroeder have last night? Turnovers. 3 turnovers. 2 turnovers. I'm sorry, 2 turnovers. Of course, he had one when he tried to throw. It was a wide open Anthony Davis in the corner. He tried to throw around, penetrate to the basket, throw around the back pass, out of bounds. He had an opportunity where they had a 3-on-2 break, I believe. LeBron gave it to Schroeder, as opposed to Schroeder throwing it up to the basket. He gave tried to zip a pass into AD in the post, not turnover. I'm not sure if one was deflected, but they had an opportunity. He could have went up. He turned the corner, got the feed, turned the corner, as opposed to going up. He tried to get the man to commit as he tried to do a jump pass. I don't know if it was deflected or what, but that was a turnover. So it was a lot going on, in my opinion, with Dennis Schroeder last night. That kept the game on edge. But of course, LA does walk away and they do get the win, taking a 3-1 series lead with a 104-101 lead. A lot happened in the waning seconds that helped them, of course. Maybe some same type of mishaps that happened for, in my opinion, that happened for Schroeder, happened as well for Draymond Green, to where he had of course, another jump pass in which he didn't have any outlet and he threw it away. AD gets the steal, but off that they get a jump ball. Prior to that, they had the possession in which Draymond Green got a rebound over. He got a rebound over Dennis Schroeder, as opposed to going up for a quick 2. He tried to kick it out to Steph Curry, who was shooting a second 3-pointer. This one a little bit further, maybe about 28, 30 feet, 32 feet or something like that. Front end of the rim. And so that was a discussion. Chase Lakers stretches down, gets the rebound. Like I said, fast forward the jump pass. Anthony Davis gets the steal. Lakers tie the ball up. Golden State ties the ball up. Jump ball is tipped by Anthony Davis. However, it goes. Steph Curry gets the jump ball, but falls and inherently throws the ball out of bounds. It goes out of bounds. Next thing you know, LA gets the ball back and close it out with the pass inbounds to Austin Reeves, who runs out the 1.5 seconds left. Lakers get the W, 104-101. Now putting the Golden State Warriors, the defending champions, on the cusp of being eliminated in the second round, for the Lakers to go face off against whoever could potentially come out of the West in the other bracket, being Phoenix or Denver. At this point, I don't know who, as a Laker fan, I would want to face more. Opponent starting 5, who technically is currently without Chris Paul, which I think is making a difference. Of course, Chris Paul will miss tonight's game 5, but they won without him. So maybe they have Cameron Payne that does serviceable work. Lately, they've been having Devin Booker. He's been running a point, bringing the ball up. They have Kevin Durant that has a propensity to bring the ball up. So they got plenty of plenty going on to where maybe they don't need Chris Paul or exactly this exact minute they can weather the storm without him, or maybe there's going to be more for them to engage with. I don't know. Right now, though, job at hand. Lakers need to close out in Golden State, which is a tall order when you know Golden State is now looking at facing elimination. Of course, they want to get to the Game 7 back in Golden State, but there's hurdles in front of them. So it remains to see how that's going to turn out. Uh, tonight's games, of course, we basically have Game 5 for Philly and Boston. Of course, in Game 5 for Phoenix and Denver. So it remains to be seen who will take the series lead and kind of put themselves at ease. I, for the most part, am looking at. I just be honest. As a Lakers fan, I want Boston to lose. Just being contrite, true and contrite. I want Boston to lose. As long as Boston is not in the playoffs, they don't have an opportunity to try to break the 17-17 tie that we have currently for our current lead for the most NBA franchise with the most NBA titles. So I'm team Philly currently, just for now. After that, we'll have to see where it goes. In state, I would like to see the Lakers face off against Miami again in the NBA championship, running back the 2020 NBA championship in which LA won over Boston in what some people refer to as the bubble season. I want to run that back. Let's put that back on the table again to see how it goes, so we can remove all doubt and, of course, take a not commanding, a one championship lead over the Boston Celtics. So I'm all for that. Boston, Philly tonight, and Phoenix. I want Phoenix to win the series, so I'm heading for Phoenix tonight versus Denver. That's where I'm at with those. Shifting a little bit, like I said before, if you haven't been paying attention, the women of professional basketball are locked in preseason currently. Started May the 5th, so last Friday, in which two games were played. One being the Washington Mystics and the Minnesota Lynx, as the Lynx were victorious, winning 72-69. Another game played later on that night. The Chicago Sky faced off against the Dallas Wings, a whole new look for the Dallas Wings. And they was victorious 75-50. 75-70, 25-point win. Sunday, Indiana Fever faced off against the Chicago Sky, in which Chicago was able to get the dub, winning 81-56. And Monday, or yesterday, I guess you could say, the Phoenix Mercury and the Seattle Storm had their game, in which the Mercury were victorious 77-71 in that. Of course, tomorrow night you'll get another two games. You can catch it. New York Liberty and the Connecticut Sun face off at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And the Atlanta Dream and the Washington Mystics just 30 minutes later with their tip-off being 11:30, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Central Standard Time. Atlanta Dream and the Washington Mystics. Of course, be able to catch the Los Angeles Spurs and the Phoenix and the Mercury on Friday at the 9 p.m. Central Standard Time tip-off. As they get ready to start the regular season. Of course, the regular season's first game, let me check to make sure, to confirm, will be on the 19th, May 19th. 4 games on that slate. The Connecticut Sun, Indiana Fever, New York Liberty, Washington Mystics, Chicago Sky, Minnesota Lynx, and last but not least, to kick off the regular season, the Phoenix Mercury and Los Angeles Sparks, all on Friday, with the Sparks game being the last one, starting at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. So be sure to catch your local WNBA. Support. Speaking of that, of course, we know the MBA, Military Basketball Association, just on Saturday had their seeding reveal, to where it revealed the top 19 teams in their league, of course, across the spectrum, to where they'll be facing off in Wichita on the 28th of started the 28th of May. Of course, that's Memorial Day weekend. Those games, of course, to be covered by DirecTV, streamed by DirecTV. The championship game to be shown on CBS on the 28th, the 29th. Oh, correction. Let me see. Hold on. Let me give you the right information. Don't want to give you any bad info. As you see it there, championship game to be played on the 28th. I'm sorry. Championship game played on the 28th. 26th to the 27th would be pool play, which still has yet to come out. So that's going to be out soon, where you know who's in what play pool and competing against one another. The formats in which the pools will be broken down, and see what those matchups are going to be looking like going forth. So I'm very sure that's be coming in the next couple of days, in which everyone can start to plan and say if they want, who they want to be there. Of course, Tinker Air Force Base and Fort Riley are the closest installations to or in or around the Wichita area, to where we'll see how they travel, and if they come up with their fans, the fans going to be in the building to help and support their squads, or will someone else be traveling. We'll see. It should be a joyous occasions and events. Of course, you have the earlier in that day on the 26th, you have the NBA induction, Hall of Fame induction. So some inductees getting immortalized in the NBA by the NBA, and then later on, other activities include a 3-point and slam dunk contest by some high school students in or around the area. So, of course, another situation, NBA is establishing and extending their platform to showcase some good young talent. So, if you're in or around the Wichita area, I ain't got nothing to do for your Memorial Day weekend, that's the spot to be. If you haven't seen, of course, the committee put out the other day, there's things jumping and popping for the AAU men's and women's basketball Battle of the Crest, to where if you want to put together a squad and you want it to be full or chock full of some of the biggest and brightest stars in military basketball, that's your opportunity. Battle of the Crest going down in Orlando, Florida, starting July the 7th. So far, you got some teams that have committed. Be sure to contact T. Morris, or Wayne Walcott, Michael Richardson, or Colton St. Cyr to get the information on how to get your team signed up and ready to go for that tournament. So far, we got about 4 women's teams that showed up. Ladies asked for it, they got it. The guys, they asked for it, they got it. I think when I last saw a post, it was about 15 teams that gave a verbal commit. So if you're interested, or even if you want to sponsor a team, that's a possibility as well. One of the two, contact any of those 4 individuals, or you get me up, I'll get you in contact with them, so you can go ahead and get your name in that cap and put your team on display. Shifting a little bit before we get up out of here, as we know, the NFL is just around the corner. Just around the corner. And plenty going on. Not well, I guess you could say not too much, right? But something that is very so forth becoming is on Thursday, May 11th, the NFL will release their schedule, full slate of schedules of who is playing where and when it's going on. Of course, additionally, they're going to have a couple of games that's going to be announced here and there going forth, mainly all on Wednesday, as they announced the international games this year. Then I think some games, the Friday games, for the first time in the NFL, they're going to have a Black Friday game. Of course, you know Black Friday is the day named after that Friday after Thanksgiving. So there's going to be the Thanksgiving Thanksgiving games, and then there's going to be a game on Friday, being Black Friday. So it's a full week: Thursday games, Friday games, Sunday games. Going forth, they have that amongst those games. So we can see those games being announced tomorrow in the late in the day. Actually, let me give you the exact. I just seen it. Another thing that came out, I guess, that the NFL is going to is that all games are not necessarily, all teams are not going to necessarily play in prime time or on prime time games. So, of course, when you take in consideration the whole ideal of the flex game, those games are no longer going to, I mean, that's what's going to be, that's going to basically dictate how it is. Now the NFL has went to a system to where no broadcasting company, i.e., CBS, NBC, ABC, um, YouTube, Amazon, none of those games, no network owns the rights to any particular game, which means it gives an opportunity for the NFL to move around games on whatever network they deem necessary, so that way they can keep all the games rotating, and they can get the most prime games or the best games to be seen to the masses. So that's another movement. Of course, if you've been under a rock and you ain't checked it yet, if you are a fan of the NFL ticket package, now that package belongs to YouTube. So if you're looking to get that package, you got to go to your YouTube, subscribe. They have a grace period that they give the discounted price. After that, yesterday price is not today's price, and the price is going to go up. So if you watch the NFL ticket, I watch it all the time. I have to see if I'm going to get it. But if you watch it, I mainly watch it because I like to watch the red zone. That really puts me in gives me a greater experience for me watching the red zone and catching the games via there. Having the opportunity to move from that game, the red zone game, and go look at the actual game because I have the ticket. It really is. It helps. So, hey, if you got the money or you're willing to pay a hefty price to catch that all throughout the season, then you got there. Of course, you have NFL Plus for those who are app users and just be always on the go. You can put your NFL Plus to be able to utilize that. So many different routes and ways to catch these games as they look forth to move forth and do it a little bit differently. Of course, like I said before, I'm waiting for the schedule so I can get with Bishop so we can figure out if we're gonna go pull up in Philadelphia, catch this Philadelphia San Francisco game. I gotta maybe think it a little bit because I gotta see. I gotta recon first and make sure that it won't be a hostile environment for myself as a 49er fan. What else we got? You know what? If as y'all see this cap on my head, it means I have to get to an appointment to fix the croft that is underneath it. So it's been a great day rocking with y'all this morning. I got to reach out to a couple of people, see if I can get some people on the show that will be planned to have on, see if they're available. Be sure, like I said, check out those games tonight. You got NHL action, Major League Baseball action, NBA action, all going on for your entertainment. And then I'll be here on Wednesday to simply entertain as well. Until then, it's your boy Trey. I greatly appreciate y'all rocking with me this morning. Look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow and what comes with that. Enjoy your Tuesday. Have a taco on me. Peace.